Hi everyone, I'm James, M0YOM, and welcome to what will hopefully be the first in a long-running series of videos on rebuilding my station. So for those that aren't aware, I've been off air, or off HF anyway, now for a number of years. We've been working on the house, doing some renovations, and really need to get the station put back together. So I thought we'd do a full video series on what we've got there now, which we'll have a look at today, what some of the plans are for the future, and then as the series progresses, we'll cover sort of each of the elements that we put in place and the whole process of rebuilding the station and getting everything back on air in what will hopefully be a really nice high performance station. So we'll start outside and have a look at what we've got, which is not a great deal. So if I flip you round, we do have a VHF antenna up, which is the Diamond X510. It's a great antenna. Been really happy with that. At the moment, that's the only antenna that's in place, and that runs through the loft and into the shack, which is just up there. And we'll take a look in there in a little bit. Zoom it back out. There we go. Now, in terms of HF, at the moment, the HF antenna, which used to run, or the HF coax rather, which used to run up into the shack, is currently strewn around the patio. We need to get that hooked back up, at least temporarily, and find a way of getting it into the shack. Now this runs round, runs up the corner of the house there, runs round, and I'll just take you through and round to where it connects to, because we've got a junction box. There's a junction box that runs into the back of the garden, which is just there. So I haven't actually been in here for a number of years. I'll have a look at what's going on in here. I put this in years ago, so there could be anything living in there. There we go. So there's actually two coax runs at the moment that run from this junction box, and they run in some conduit down under the lawn, all the way along there and across into the paddock, which we'll go and take a look at. In the moment. These will eventually be replaced. I'm intending on getting some better performance heliacs to run over the long run, because it's quite a long run. It's got to be probably 100 meters, 80 meters, 100 meters of cable in total. So I'm intending on replacing it with some heliacs. But at the moment, there's just two runs in there of. It's the Messium Poloni, I think it's the Broad Pro 50. So we'll shut that back up. It's nice to see that it's nice and dry in there, and there's no animals that have taken residence. And I'll just take you around to where the HF antennas will be sited. We're quite fortunate here to have a reasonable amount of space, so we've got the room for hopefully some good antennas. There we go. Right, so that coax runs in some conduit under the lawn, and it ends up out the back here. So there's a paddock, we call it the paddock, a small field out the back, that is eventually where the HF antennas are going to go. And everything terminates outside in these kind of I don't know what you call them really, equipment boxes, outdoor equipment boxes. So in the first one, which is where the coax runs into, we've got, it's a bit of a mess in there at the moment. Right now there are two Array Solution 6-packs in there. that used to be hooked up, and there's a couple of feed-through points. Unfortunately, we had some water getting here, so it's not looking in great condition at the moment. We'll need to fix that out. The plan is that underneath there, we've then got connection points for as many antennas really as I could ever really wish for. And then all the switching can be controlled remotely from within the shack. So we'll shut that up. There we go, and we'll have a look at the next one. So the second box is all control gear. So what we've got in here at the moment, this is my old control system. This is all going to get replaced with the new system. So this is an old Arduino Mega controlled kind of a network connected control system that I built a number of years ago for the 6-packs. And there's a little control panel on the wall here. It's all powered down at the moment, so it's not going to do anything. But this is all going to get replaced with some new equipment that we'll take a look at a little bit later on. There's a network switch on the back here as well, which runs some of the networking outside, and also has a PoE for some CCTV and a few other bits and pieces, but we'll be utilising that for the control system going forward. And the intention is we'll cover off the planned antennas and what the overall plan is in a bit, but the intention is for the antennas to be sighted in the paddock here. And we've got plenty of space for experimentation and trying out new antennas in the future, but the primary antenna and the one that we want to get up sooner rather than later is a DX Commander Nebula, or Nebula, depending on whether you follow Callum's pronunciation, which is essentially a 10 metre to 80 metre multi-band vertical. It's about, I think it's just shy of 20 metres, about 18 metre pole. So we'll be putting that in the centre of the paddock here, somewhere around here. And there's a bunch of receive antennas I want to build as well. But we'll head into the shack now, go and have a look at what the state of things is at the moment in there, and take a look at what the plans are for the station, and hopefully what will be a really interesting and exciting series of videos. So I'll take you inside now and see you in a moment. Right, so we're in the shack now, and as you can see, everything's a little bit messy and disorganised. There's an old TS2000 on the floor there, and equipment everywhere. So all this is going to need to be sorted out. We've got the main operating position there, my desk and computer and far too much equipment. All the shelves need reorganising, and just really make it a nice environment to operate radio in, as well as having all the radios in here in a neat and usable manner. We've got the if you've watched the previous videos, there's the IC7760 down there. There's the control unit for the ACOM 2020S over there, and the IC 9700 there that I use for HF, as well as there's some audio equipment. We've got the Behringer XR18 mixer there, and we'll talk about where that fits into the scheme of things in a little bit. There's some little old handhelds there. Some test equipment and a few other bits and pieces, and then at the moment, because they're not hooked up properly, just on the floor down here we've got the ACOM 2020S, and there's the main RF deck for the main RF deck. There we go. Apologies, this I'm still getting used to this new camera. It's like a gimbal camera. There's the main RF deck for the IC7760 down there. So a lot of organisation, a lot of sorting things out needed. As you can see, a lot of organisation and tidying up of things really desperately needed in here. And at some point we'll be renovating this room along with the rest of the house renovations that we're doing. But for now, the goal is really to get the station back on air, get things functional, and start operating again. And we'll pop over to the computer now and just run through what some of the plans are, because I think with a project like this, it's important to plan out what we're looking to achieve. So, you know, what do we want out of the station? What kind of operating we're going to do? What do we want to do with it? And also look at all of the components that we're going to need to get in place, just really to keep us focused and see where we're going. So we'll pop over to the computer now and take a look at that.
With any station build, I think it's important to think about what it's going to be used for. So a QRP rig with a loft-mounted dipole isn't going to be great if you're wanting to run big pileups into VK. So we'll start by taking a look at the kind of operating I intend to be doing with the station. First up, contesting. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but I really enjoy contesting, especially some of the bigger contests like CQ Worldwide. Even if you're not into contesting, you can sometimes hear some rare DX that you wouldn't otherwise when there's a big contest on. Experimentation and development. I really enjoy experimenting with new antennas, new equipment and new approaches to using the radio. So I need a station that's going to provide me with some flexibility to try new stuff out and hopefully not break anything in the process. And of course, there's general operating. I like to do some general operating too, award hunting or working some distant DX station. It can be very enjoyable as well. Now let's take a look at the design goals for the new M0YOM station. First up, QRO, high power. Nothing against QRP people. That can be an awful lot of fun. Personally, I like QRO. Low noise, so on both transmit and receive. So we'll be doing everything we can to keep the noise floor as low as possible, as well as ensuring we've got plenty of filtering in place, so that we could add a second station at some point in the future. We want it to be state of the art. Everything computer controllable, and it would be really nice to have the capability to remote the station if we choose to. A tidy and efficient shack. I mean, as you've just seen, things are a bit of a mess in here at the moment. There's cabling all over the place, and really, I want everything easy to hand, easy to operate, without everything being a mess of cabling. We want to future-proof it. We want to be able to make changes in the future, add equipment, remove equipment, experiment with equipment. So we don't want to install things in a way that's going to be restrictive for the future. Now, in terms of the main equipment for the shack, HF rig. Some of you may already have seen. If you haven't, go and check out that video. I'll pop a link in the description on the new ICOM IC7760 that I picked up recently. That'll be the main HF rig. VHF is a rig I've already got. You've seen that a moment ago. The IC9700. So it'll be a fully ICOM station. For the amplifier though, we're going down a different route with the ACOM 2020S. I've had an ACOM 600, or I've still got an ACOM 600, and I've had an ACOM 2000 in the past. So it'll be really interesting to put the 2020S through its paces and see how that does. For station monitoring, I'm going to be going with the LP700s from Telepost. Really to keep an eye on things like SWR and the like, and make sure we've not got any problems there. Now, audio distribution. Sometimes I like to use speakers and a microphone. Other times I prefer to use a communication headset. And we also need a way of getting the audio into the computer from the rigs and the microphone. So, we can stream operating the radio, or record things from the radio as well. So to do that, it's going to be the Behringer XAir XR18 digital mixer. That'll handle all of the audio routing between the devices. Now the microphone, I've currently got a Shure SM58, but I've never really been 100% happy with it. So we'll be upgrading to the venerable Electro Voice RE20. And for antenna switching, we took a quick look at the Array Solution 6-packs that I've got at the moment. But we'll be replacing those with the 4 Oscar 3 Alpha Antenna Genius 8x2 switch, which is a much nicer, much more capable switch. Now, no station is any good with a bunch of wonderful equipment in the shack unless you've got some antennas. So VHF and UHF, the antenna's already up for that. That's the Diamond X510, fantastic antenna. HF will be putting up a couple of antennas. The first will be the DX Commander Nebula, which gives 10 meters through to 80 meters. It's a approximately 18 meter high vertical multi-band vertical antenna, fantastic antenna. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. Also 160 meter dipole. We'll be popping one of those up just so that we can get on top band. And a variety of receive antennas as well. It's not something I've ever really used much of before, so I really want to experiment with receive antennas. Beverages, maybe a K9AY or loop on the ground, but it'd be great to experiment with some receive antennas. So I hope you've enjoyed the first video in the station rebuild series. If you have, remember to like, subscribe, and if you've got any questions, suggestions, ideas, leave a comment down below. I do read every single one of them, so I'll look forward to reading those. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.